YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Hello, I don't know whether you can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Papa, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm having some audio difficulties today. I'm just trying to see. No, it looks like I don't have audio outputs. Interesting. Right. Yes, let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can see me okay. You can see and hear me. Thank you. I've got no volume on anything at all, which is interesting because it was all fully working yesterday. Hang on. No, that's the headphones. This is maybe if I plug that into there instead of the headphones. Nope. Why have I got no volume? Hang on. Let me see if I've got it in the headphones. Oh, what is happening? This was working yesterday. Nope, I seem to have no output at all. We're back. We're back. It's working. Hurrah. Okay, good. So then. There we go. There we go. All on. Everything's good. Everything's grand. Is that maximum volume? Yes, it is. Do bear with me, everybody. Sorry, this is a brand new setup and it was all working fantastically well yesterday when I was trying it. But of course, as always, sod's law, the minute you go live is the minute that everything's like, no, we're not going to work now. So yes, I am now, I've got two monitors set up, although one of the monitors isn't working, but you know, that's just what life is, I guess. So I need to get a whole new cabling system sorted out for that. I've now got a really, oh, it's this, right, hang on. Computer, studio fan off. Oh no, there is still another noise, isn't there? There is another noise. You never noticed my chubby cheeks before? It's probably because I put so much weight on over Christmas. That's probably why. Right, bear with. Sorry, everybody. I am all 6s and 7s and everything. You just saw that I came online. Do you do Thursdays? I'm only doing Thursday today, Peacock Rainbow Flower Beauty, because we were off on Boxing Day. So because we were off the day after Christmas, we're doing this as an extra live. Anyway, let's see who is here. So we've got October here. Thank you very much. Hello. We've got Ed. Thank you, Ed. Hello. Patricia's here. Neen's O'Day. I just love that name. And I'm going to have to turn this. There we go.
Mode.
No, not Bluetooth.
Aux in mode.
Hang on. Hurrah! It's working. It's properly working now. You think, well, I think it is where the camera is aiming. What? Is it this bit here? Because these are my cheekbones. These are my gorgeous cheekbones. So these are absolutely gorgeous cheekbones. I got here. So these are my cheekbones. I've also changed the lighting. I've changed the backdrop completely. So you can now see my crows. So yeah, so you can see everything. Everything's changed. I've got tarot decks on here now. It's all good. It's all good. How did Christmas go for everybody? Good evening to Firefly Magic. Oh, we haven't seen you for a while, Firefly. Good evening to Seti the Red. Good evening to you. Good evening. Yeah, I think I've said hello to everybody. Lou Hoo, good evening to you, my darling. Right, hang on. How did Christmas go? It's been lovely. I've had my nibbling here since Christmas Eve until about 3 hours ago, which has been really lovely, to be fair. No, Ed, they've just gone home. It was lovely, but it was also chaotic because, as you can all imagine, having somebody living in your house, however lovely they are, however much you love their company and everything else, having somebody in your house for a big block of time with limited space is a little bit draining, but it was good. It's been good. I've got the new setup where I've got the camera here. So the webcam is now permanently placed here. Eventually I'll have the second monitor working. We've tried all sorts of cables and it just won't work. So I need to get a different cabling set up. But yes, it's been good. Christmas has been good. I've eaten far too much chocolate, as you do. I've just had a piece of Stollen because, you know, why not? So, which is why I keep taking a drink now, because for some reason I've got a little bit of flaked almond stuck in my palate. I know, right? It's nice, isn't it? Anyway, sorry, it's the nuts from the Stollen. You're an emo Grinch and can't wait for New Year's. Technically, Peacock Rainbow Flower Beauty. Hang on, the light just fell off. Technically, they are my sister's eldest child, and they are non-binary. So that's why we use the word nibbling, because it's the word that you use for your sibling's child. So it's almost like child in itself, which is non-gendered. Nibbling is the child of your sibling. So yes, I don't know whether you can tell, but I've got new lighting here, so things are lit up quite nicely. I haven't got candles lit yet, but yeah, there's a whole new everything here. Not nibbler, nibbling. Right then, shall we do some lovely tarot readings? I'm a bit 6s and 7s today. There we go. Partly because Mr. who's here in the ratty cage is really poorly, not expected to live very long at all at the moment. We might have to take him for his final trip to the vets very, very soon. But we're monitoring that situation. He's had cancer come up really super fast. So yeah, unfortunately, ratties are really prone to cancer, which is why they were tested so much in the old days of animal testing. Still are, to be fair. I'm just trying to get used to where everything now is on my desk. But yes, did you get any divination things for y'all? I got a deck of the smaller Everyday Witch cards from Rufus. Which I wouldn't normally promote because they are one of the smaller decks from China, but yes, I did get that. I got an amazing look how beautiful this book is. Look how beautiful this book is. Going to be one of my books of shadows. Good evening, Amy Smith. Look how lovely this is. Look, it's a locked book, and it's got stuff all on the edges, and it's just the most beautiful book. I got a couple of more books from one of my besties. One on sigil craft there. Just there it is. And other bits and pieces. So yes, it's been a really lovely Christmas. And of course, the main thing was the computer that I'm now currently using from the lovely husband. So yes, it was very good. And he's been playing on the Switch, which I bought him. I don't know what you do with those, so I was just like, okay, here, have a Switch, and then bye. So it was good having a younger person here over Christmas and New Year, because I'm okay setting all this up, as in, except everything's in the wrong place. Hang on a second, God, I didn't think about this. I've got to use a keyboard rather than on the old laptop, so I have to move the keyboard out of the way. There we go, in order to make space for the tarot. Tell you what though, the computer is like this size. It's a tiny little box. It's amazing. My first computer was like the size of your bedroom. Bonkers. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. I hope you've all had a lovely festive time. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, then I hope you just had a lovely couple of days off, because that's also really important. Just having a little bit of time for you and whatever you want to do. And I've also just realized, I think this is going to be one of the first times. Oh, my mirror's come off as well. God, Jesus. I'm telling you, this is one of those days today. One of those 6s and 7s days. Where is my little box? Oh, everything's going on the floor. Don't go on the floor. Right, I'm picking some earrings at random. We're going to have these ones. Right then. God, these blooming almonds. There's a lot of flaked almonds in a stollen. Right, I'm having some earring issues because I feel naked without my earrings. Seriously, like, I could walk around in public, probably, well, I have done many a time at many a pagan camp without a top on, and I feel absolutely fine. However, walking around with no earrings on, I feel absolutely naked. It's weird. It's very strange. Anyway, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing good. I hope you're all feeling well. We're going to be doing some tarot reading tonight, maybe some oracle reading as well, just because I've got the Urban Crow oracle cards. Where are the Urban Crow oracle cards? I did have them. Well, I did have them somewhere. I'll have to find another oracle deck out in a second. But anyway, we're going to do some readings. I've got the talismans here as well, so we can do a talisman pull. Everything is going to be grand. Right then, so shall we have some readings? So what do you do on this channel if you want a tarot reading? There's 2 ways of doing it. 2 ways. If you would like to put your sorry, I really shouldn't eat just before coming on stream. If you I'm a professional YouTuber, me, can you tell? So not. But if you are wanting a free reading, you can go ahead and put your question into the live chat. Start your question with the word question, and I will grab one of those at random. So if there's only one question in, you'll get that question. If there's multiple ones, we'll go through and pick one at random. If, however, you want to guarantee your reading is up next, you can do that by sending a super chat. That automatically comes through to me, gets starred, goes onto a whole separate system, and then I'm able to read that directly. If you want to, if we get multiple super chats in, then we'll do those first and then open up another free round after that. Just in case you've missed everything that I just said, here's a handy dandy little video recapping all of what I just said. Okay, I've got some new spreads to work with as well today. I think, no, I don't know where I put that deck. Oh no! I will find it. I will find it in a minute. I promise. It's here somewhere. It's because everything's been moved around. Oh, he's on. He's here. Look, you can even see it on screen. Oh my Lord. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, here we go. Got the decks. I didn't mean that to play again. Shall we just start the stream again? Shall we? Shall we just start over? God, what a messy start for this. Listen, if you're new here, this is not quite as, no, this is a little bit more chaotic than normal. A little bit. Don't forget, everybody, bit of housekeeping right down here on the bottom of the screen. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only, okay? You do make all your own decisions about your own life. Don't come running to me if you ask a question about, is your husband being faithful, and the cards say no, and it turns out he's been sleeping with your sister for the last 6 months. Don't blame that on me. I'm just the person giving you the information. Okay, so that's what we always say. You should never ever replace tarot or use tarot instead of medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. That is super important. And obviously, you do need to be 18 years of age or over to receive a reading. Secondly, we've got another thing. You absolutely need to be very careful what you say on the interwebs. We all know stuff comes back. People are cancelled in a couple of years' times for things that they said that were quite acceptable back in the past. Beware of your own security online. Okay, that's really, really, really important. You can always go to my website, which is available at hang on, if I click on this, there you go, beyondauthentic.co.uk. You can always go there and book private readings, or you can do it over at buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, or even on that there Fiverr as well. So that's always possible to do that. Right then, let's have a look in the live chat. Let's see what the readings are. I wonder if I hit that now. Can I hit that now? Can I hit that? Is that going to stay on? It's not, is it? It's not. It's not. Nothing is going to work today. There we go. Live tarot readings. That's what we're doing today. So, loads of questions in. Right. Let's have a look then. So what we're going to do is I'm going to scroll up and down with my eyes closed. And I'm just going to pick one of these at random. Now, normally when I do this, there's about a 50, maybe 60-40 chance that I'm going to hit a moderator message. Even if, oh no, look, Luhu, question, how do I best support my dad? Hurrah, it's not a moderator question. Right, now I need to change cameras then. Hopefully this will work. I just need to get the position better. There we go. There we go. There we go. Is that going to be okay there? Hang on. Let me just double check with this one. Yay! Is that the camera there? Yes, you can just about see it. That's perfect. Perfectly placed. Gosh, listen, literally just before I came on, everything had to get moved because I've got a stand for the monitor that I need to tighten up, and everything was leaning forward. So the weight of two monitors was pulling it all out of sync. But anyway, right then. So as always, where's my bell? Oh, it's right in front of me as well. Oh gosh, it feels like I haven't been on stream for about 6 months. That is absolutely bonkers. Right then, so we'll cleanse the energy, as you can see, and we are going to be looking at Wispy. No, second one. So coming in, Wispy, we are looking for some advice today. What deck shall we use? I'll tell you what, just because it's right here, we're going to use the Fifth Spirit. There we go. So we've got the Fifth Spirit deck, which is a lovely inclusive deck, and it's also one that speaks my language. I think today is not the day for bringing in a new deck, put it that way. If I didn't know myself better, I'd say my body is hungover. I'm not hungover because I literally had one snowball at Christmas. One single snowball. I know, right? I know. I didn't get drunk. There was no partying. We had a young person to look after. So I say young person, they're 18. So, but yes, right then. So hang on, let me hit the star button on that one. There we go. So then, Wispy, Lou Who would like to know, how do they best support their dad? How does Lou best support their father? Let's have a look at that for you. So, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll have a look at the to support your father. Let's have a look. Right, so maybe we want to use the maybe we'll use the opportunity, challenge, and outcome spread. Or do we do situation obstacle? Let's do the situation obstacle, Wispy. That's what we'll do. So we want to know what the situation is currently, what the obstacle is, and how we overcome that obstacle, okay? I'm not ignoring, by the way, the cards that are falling. I just know at the moment my hands have been very, very weak this last couple of days, and any cards that are falling over will be largely due to my own poorly hands. So, yeah. Right, let's have a look. So then the situation, the obstacle, situation, oh, the moon, the obstacle, the ace of pentacles, okay, and the king of swords as the opportunity to overcome. Right, so let's have a look. I need to go all the way down here to the moon, which is this one. So the moon card, generally speaking, is a little bit softer than how it looks in this deck, because this deck has got the moon as being like a full moon out in the forest and you're all alone, but you're not. You're with the fireflies, you're with the, you know, nature, and you're with the full moon. But the moon is all about navel gazing to a certain extent, looking within, second guessing, listening to intuition. So I think, Lou, I think your body, your possibly even your father, that you're asking how you best support your dad. I think you already know, if that makes sense. I think it's already around you, how you support things. I think all of that is kind of, it's almost like you know what you need to do. Okay, that's what the moon is saying. It's like, look within, look at the clues that the universe is giving you. You know what you need to do for the best. It might not be something you're quite able to do yet, might not be something you're ready to do yet, but the intuition is there. The pattern is there, the signs are there. You just need to really kind of follow it, if that makes sense. Because I do think if you, the problem with the moon is that although it's a card of intuition and introspection, if you look too much internally, if you keep looking inside you, then unfortunately you end up not moving forward and not doing anything. So I do think there's something where you might need a conversation with your dad, but also listen to what your gut is saying. You know, intrinsically how to support him. Okay. In the obstacle to that, I don't know whether there's a financial obstacle coming in or whether the amount of effort is coming in. So I don't know when you're talking about what level of support it is, whether it's, you know, somebody's been poorly and you need to do sort of physical support, or whether it's financial support. But whatever it is, the obstacle to this, the obstacle to whatever your gut is telling you, comes in the form of the Ace of Pence. Now, Pence is really about money, career, finances, but also the amount of work that something would need, was, you know, the amount of effort something would require, and that is what is currently blocking whatever your gut instinct is saying. And how we overcome that. Now, this is interesting because the King of Swords is quite often seen as father type energy because it's the king and the kings make the decisions. Swords is all about challenges, the hurdles, all of that in life. But this is literally saying, you can see this person has got the bullhorn. This person is absolutely saying, do you know what? This is what you need to do. You need to stand up, get your voice heard, and be counted. So if that means advocating for your father, that's what you need to do. If that means, you know, shouting him down and saying, no, Dad, you are going to go into a nursing home because you've just smeared your shit up the walls, or whatever it is, you know, you are going to sign this piece of paper that says that we're going to have financial control because you've just spent £40,000 on a car that you crashed the first 2 days before you got a chance to insure it. Whatever it is, whatever level of support it is that your dad needs, this is about getting, either advocating for his needs or getting your opinion on the level of support, depending on what it is that's happening. If it's a care situation, it may well be that you need to literally go in and shout down the doctors, not literally, but you know what I mean. But you have to go in and kind of do what is right for you and your family, do what's right for you and your dad. So even if the doctors are like, oh no, well, he needs to go into a care home now, you're like, no, he doesn't. The family are going to be stepping in and looking after him in his own house for the next few years, next few months, whatever it is, until blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it's saying. You know what you need to do. you don't want to do it. That's why it's coming up as an obstacle, and it's going to take either a lot of effort or maybe a financial burden that's going to be ongoing. And you overcome this element by basically digging your feet in the ground and causing as much of a fuss as you are able to do. Stand up for what is right. I'm going to pull you an oracle card, my darling. We're going to do the Urban Crow Oracle. This is my favorite oracle deck because it's so, wow. I mean, you've seen in my background just how much I love the crows. So let's have a look. Wispy, we want one card from the Crow Oracle, Wispy, and we want to see if there is we're not chucking cards today. I'm too tired. My hands are too weak. So what we want to see today is there a single card that can give Lou a single pointer on what they need to do to support Dad? Okay, let's have a look. No, hang on. That's the top bit. So it's the bottom card. God, Jesus. You can tell I've had a couple of days off, can't you? Oh, ghosts. Listen to the past. Listen to what your dad is asking. So this is again coming into that navel gazing here in the past situation. Listen to the ghosts of the past, and also I believe very firmly the ghosts of the future as well. Excuse me. So what do I mean by the ghosts of the future? Listen to what you would say in 5 years' time. What do you want the future you to look back on this moment and say? Like, yay, you did good about your dad, or yay, you did what you needed to do even though Dad wasn't happy? Or do you want to be able to, turn around and say, I did exactly what I had to do even though I really didn't want to do it? That ghost of the past, that ghost of the future, all of that, listen to everything, right? But if your dad if this isn't a care situation, if your dad is able to have that conversation of what he wants and how you can support him, then do that. Okay, hopefully, my darling, that helps. I wish you the very best of luck with whatever the situation is. It does keep feeling like it's a care situation or something that is going to develop into a care situation. So I know a lot of us on stream have had issues with parents and that needing that sort of care element. So I hope that helps. But thank you ever so much for your question, my darling. And yeah, as I say, I hope that gives you a bit of clarity. Right then, let's open a round again. Who did I see? Somebody popped in just as it was over. Amy Smith, I think I said hello to you. Hong Gao, hello, my darling. Good evening to you. And Holland's here. Hello, Holland. Good evening to you. Mods, I don't have access to WhatsApp. Let me see if no, it's still not. I've downloaded it twice. Let me see if I can access it. No, I can't see WhatsApp. Hang on. Let me turn my phone back on. I'll turn my phone back on and then hopefully I won't dox myself with the WhatsApp. Oh, connect charger. Oh, bloody hell. Right. Okie dokie. You're really seeing my general ineptitude with technology. I'm not inept. I can get things working eventually. It's just that sometimes it takes me a little while to work my own way out, if that makes sense. Yes, computer, we'll have all the less of the noisings. Thank you. There we go. And if I plug that into there and put WhatsApp on on there, then I can still get mod messages if I need to. There we go. Fantastic. There we go. Right, we're sort of cooking on gas. I downloaded it. I thought I'd installed it all, but apparently not. So yay. I knew it was care. Right, he's getting care at the minute, needs lots of support. Bang on the money as usual. You've discussed living will as he's erratic with his money at the minute and taking it all out to buy a car. Jesus Christ. Why did I know that? Why did I get that about the car? Yes, living will, empowering, no, enduring power of attorney is a good one. We had that for Mum. Oh God, what else? There's another thing as well that's like power of attorney, but not quite. It's like the level below that. That's what we had for Mum. Basically means that if she wasn't able to make those decisions, I would step in on a care practice and my aunt would step in on the finances, because she was living where mum was at the time. I was already up in Leeds. But yeah, the important one of those three cards, Lou, is going to be that King of Swords, because that is going to be, you're going to have to stand up and advocate for your dad's needs. Okay, the care system is great, but you're going to have to absolutely dig your feet in and stand up and strongly advocate for what you think is right for your dad, because as much as they know the system, they don't know your father, right? And that's what you're going to need to do, is really, really, really firmly make sure that it's the right thing for your dad. Right then, hopefully that helps, my darling. Thank you so much. And then let's open up another round. Don't forget, if you would like a live reading, there are two ways to get one on this channel. The first way is, as I always say, send it as a super chat. The second way, you can you can send your question starting with the word question when I open a round, which I'm doing right now. Hopefully the banner should be on screen. No, that's the wrong one. That one there. There you go. The banner's on. That means it's time to get your questions in. You've got a little while, about 30 seconds to get your questions in. If you've already sent a question, you need to send it again. So make sure that you select and copy your question, and then you can send it in next time. So make sure you do that. I grab one of them at random by scrolling up and down on the mouse on the jog wheel, and then picking a question at random. And as I say, if you want to guarantee that you're next, you can always do that by sending a super chat of any amount. Right, just in case you missed it, here's another video. Yes, indeed. What will your card say? Let's have a look. Right, I'm on the live screen. We've got no, oops, sorry, Peacock. We've got no super chats in yet. So then I've got, oh God, there's loads of questions in. Right, so there's lots of questions. Good evening to Nat. I don't know when you came in, Nat, but good evening to you, my darling. Let's have a look. I'm scrolling up and down. We're going with this one here. Hongao. Question, how does Ken think of me now? Okie dokie. So we'll have a look at that one. Hong Kao, you can send super chats of any amount, my friend, any amount that you would like. People tend to send $5 or £5, or somebody sent £10 the other day, and all sorts. Right, I've got some new spreads on my board. How does Ken think of me? We'll go with, okay, we'll go with, you're just Ken. I still haven't seen the film. I need to. I really do need to. Right, let's have a look. Right then, let me change cameras. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, it makes it so much easier not having to move the camera every time. That's so cool. That is so cool. I love that. Love that for me. Right then, let's have a look. So Wispy, what we are wanting, just make sure I'm not doxing the mods with the that'd be a good thing to do, wouldn't it? The mods send me a comment about something, and I'm like, oh yes, thank you, and then it's out for everybody on the interwebs. There we go. Right then, let's let's have a look. So Wispy, sorry my friend. Oh, I did press it. Oh my God, my hands. I do apologize, everyone. The fibro has really kicked my backside over Christmas. As you can see, not like I need my hands to shuffle or anything. You know what I mean? It's not like I. Oh, jeez. We live and learn. We do what we can when we can. You know what I mean? That's what we do. Right then. So how does Ken feel about you? How does Ken feel about Hong Gao? Let's have a look. So we're going to do a 3-card spread. Hang on. Let me work this out. What you want, what Ken wants, and what the relationship is looking at. Okay, that's what we're going to do. What you want, what Ken's thinking about you now, and where the relationship is headed. Right. So then let's have a look. Sorry, I honestly feel like I've not streamed in about 6 months. I really, really do. It really feels very, very strange with this new setup as well. I knew I should have, what I should have done is messaged Neil and done a little like one-on-one quick little chat earlier this afternoon so that Neil could sort his camera out and I could sort mine out. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So let's have a look. What you want. Where you are feeling. Right, okay. So Hongao, I've got a feeling just from these cards that they are, there's an X situation here, because we've got how are you feeling, or what do you want? We've got cross swords, the Two of Swords. I think there's been some sort of cross words, a disagreement, an argument, and that is basically what has maybe separated the two of you a little bit, right? It feels there's all of these cards are swords or wands. Oh my God, there is a thunder and lightning storm happening outside my window. I want to go and dance in the thunder with me top off. I know, right? I was about to say boobs are bouncing, but in my case, it's more like boobs are flapping. But anyway, I've got a feeling that for you, my darling, I think you are, how can I put it? I think you're done in terms of how you and Ken are together, because we've got this Two of Swords. It really does feel like you've had crosswords, you've had an argument, you've had a disagreement, and that is kind of sticking with you. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's in the past, you've forgiven and forgotten. It's like whatever was said, whatever was done, it's still really bothering you at the moment. So that's saying this is where you are. However, where Ken is, I think whatever's happened, I think you've pissed him off. And I think, like, if the two of you were in some sort of relationship, then I think he's really miffed at you, because this being reversed, so the Queen of Swords is somebody generally depicted as somebody female, generally depicted as somebody, the swords is that trouble and strife, that challenge kind of suit that I was talking about. The fact that this has come up after this is you, this is the way Ken views the situation. I think he sees you as more trouble than you're worth, my darling. I really do. The Queen of Swords is one of those like, she's one of the ones that tries to play the power games behind the throne in Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean? She's the character of Mrs. Dodds. If you watch Percy Jackson, it's like she's the bad person, and I'm not saying you are, it's just how Ken is viewing it. So whatever happened in the past, whatever disagreement this relates to, is kind of like, I think you're both done, to be honest with you. And then we've got how the relationship is now. The Queen of Wands is an interesting one, because it is talking about security and confidence. And I think that this is where it's literally saying that you kind of need to, maybe the only way you're going to get back is if you completely gain that confidence. But the fact that he currently sees you as the Queen of Swords, which is basically, if this card had a, wow, can you hear that thunder and lightning? If this card had a single name attributed to it, it would be bitch, right? So that is kind of how Ken sees it. And then we've got the Queen of Wands coming in with the relationship's future. So I think it would take a hell of a lot of work to try and sort out whatever happened between you and Ken. And I don't know whether, with this card being so very, very clear, I don't know whether you'd ever get to that situation, my darling. Let me pull you a single oracle card as well, because I think that might shine a little more light. So again, Wispy, we want to have a single card. How does Ken think of Hong now? How does Ken think of Hong? Let's have a look. Wispy. Oh gosh, can you hear that rain against the window and everything? Oh, it's phenomenal. Please keep the storm on until 9 o'clock when I finish, and I can come and dance with boobs are flapping. Right. Did I do the cut? I did do the cut, didn't I? So we've got protection. Really? Oh, right. Okay. Thank you, Wispy. Ken is protecting himself. Ken is protecting himself. So, yeah, it's not protection of, it's protection from. So whatever has happened here, whatever this disagreement was, I think it feels like Ken is basically going, right, I can't get back involved because you will take away all of the confidence, all of his confidence that's been built up. It's like whatever's happened, it almost feels like it's ended again. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, again, we've got to this point again. And I think that's what this card is saying. It's protection. Ken needs to be able to protect his own energy and his own sort of self from a repeating relationship, which probably means it's the same advice for you, my darling. Sometimes we get in loops in life. We get into cycles that aren't necessarily positive for us. And sometimes those cycles just keep on repeating as if you've left a YouTube video on repeat. And that's one of those things that can absolutely happen without us realizing it. And sometimes one party in a relationship will just say, do you know what? Actually, I don't need to repeat this again. I think it's best if we don't. And it feels like that's where Ken is right now. So I hope that helps, my darling. As I always say, it's not the information that you want to hear, but it is the information that the cards are here to give you. So again, I hope if nothing else, it gives you a bit of an idea of where to go moving forward. But yeah, thank you very much for your question, and I do hope that that helps. Right then, let's go ahead. Let's have a look on the super chats. We have no other super chats come in, so I'm going to go ahead and open up another live round, another free round. So if you would like a question, go ahead and pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, or you can send it as a super chat. If you want to send a super chat, you can do so at any time during the stream, and I will get that automatically. It comes through, is highlighted on my system. I've just seen, look, you can see all that mess there. Look at that. What a messy bitch am I? What a messy bitch am I? There we go. Let's put it that way. Hide the mess. And also put me little light on for my, there we go. There we go. The selenite tower lights. Right. Go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. By the way, if you are here on the replay crew, good evening, welcome, and thank you ever so much for watching. I know quite a few of you do watch on replay. So yes, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who do. Right then, here's a handy little video in case you need it.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Also, Lisa has been known to press the wrong button on a video and play the wrong video. Oops. The storm. I wish you could hear the storm here. It's beautiful. Right then, so let me turn the banner off. Right, we've got a few questions in. I am going to go up and down on my screen, and we're going with this one. Oh no, that's I just changed the buttons. Right. I turned the chat off then, because you know that's a good way of working it, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Here we go. We're going with this one here. Oh, it's not even a thing. Flaming Nora. Right, one last time. Here we go. Spinny, 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 spinny. This one. I've pressed it. Oh, Seti the Red. Good evening. Why aren't my manifestations working even though I'm doing the physical work? Oh, gosh. There could be... I mean, again, I don't know whether it's a tarot, a question for a tarot reading, to be honest with you, Reese, but I will certainly ask. I will ask the dragons. Let's do that first. Right then, Mr. Wispy. Cleanse the space and bring in Wispy. Also, swap the camera around. It's really weird as well. This new setup, it's like the monitors are bigger, so I can see things better and easier. And they're also just literally just here, just in front of where my fingers are now. And they're raised up, so it's a lot more comfortable reading it like this, I'm telling you. Right then. And you can see now, look, you can see the buttons I've got on my Stream Deck. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, everybody. Hit subscribe. Ding your bell and change it to all so YouTube lets you know every time I upload a video. Right then, Wispy. Seti wants to know, why isn't his manifestations working even though he's doing the physical work? That's what we want to know. Why is Seti's manifestations not working even though they're doing the physical work? That's what we want to know, please. Oh gosh, my poor hands. There we go. I'm going to get one of those things. I've seen them where you put a thing on and then you've got rings on your fingers and then you kind of do this with it and you stretch it and pull it and it's all got like pulleys to try and strengthen up your hands. I think that might be a cool thing to do. I don't know. Might also tire me out completely, but never mind. We'll see. That's what fibro does to you. Right. Let's have a look then, Wispy. So we are going to do the, oh, I've got a new one. This is you, your path and the potential. Haha, new spreads. Look at this. Oh, interesting. Look, your path, the Page of Cups, innocence and emotions. So this would say that the reason the manifestations aren't working would be down to a certain amount of innocence. I always equate the page as being youthful energy, really young energy. This page, as you can see, is playing with a balloon with a goldfish in it. I don't quite understand how or why, but anyway, we go with it. But what it's saying, Seti, is that basically I think that you are right. If it was anybody else, I'd say naive, but I don't think you are naive. Maybe it's that you're trying things. Maybe you're trying to. Okay, thank you, Wispy. Maybe you're trying to run before you can walk. Does that make sense? So there may be something here that you are. Let's skip to the good part. Nah, 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 nah. Do you know what I mean? So there could be something where it's almost like in a book, right? We've all done it. You pick up that lovely book on witchcraft that you've seen in the shop. You pick it up, you buy it, you take it home. You skip to the bits to do the magic-y stuff. What you've missed is the bit that tells you the reasoning behind or how it works or what you need to do first. And it kind of feels a little bit like that maybe you've skipped. When we look at your path, this is why I'm saying, because we've got the Fool. Now, in the tarot, the Fool doesn't mean that you are being foolish. It means that this is a start of a new journey, maybe approaching things with new eyes. So maybe there's something here that along your path, you need to maybe look at starting over. One of the most powerful things that I've ever done in terms of my practice, my magical practice, the most powerful thing I ever did was pick up an old Book of Shadows that, I mean, again, we're talking a few years ago, pick up an old Book of Shadows when I was still in my learning phase, which I don't have anymore. It was it wasn't a beautiful, it was like an old ledger. So it was huge and heavy, but it was really big to write in. And because I went back to it and I reread a lot of the stuff that I've been learning when I was younger, I reread the whole bloody thing because there were bits in there that I'd forgotten to do nowadays. And there were bits that I'd forgotten were a thing. And it's like I would skip most of the LBP and just skip to the good part. And there's all sorts of bits and pieces that I was jumping ahead to. So for me, it was incredibly useful to go back to those starting blocks and just refresh all of that beginner knowledge. That was amazing. But even if this isn't about you starting again from the beginning, the Fool's Journey itself is the zero card. It is that neutral card of starting afresh. So it could be that the way that you are doing the workings needs to be looked at again, if that makes sense. The potential, we've got the Two of Cups. So there's an emotional side here because this is also emotions, don't forget. So maybe you're the way you're getting frustrated or the way that you're maybe feeling about doing the workings has changed from the beginning. The Two of Cups is really good. Oh, hang on. Yay. Okay, I've got WhatsApp up. I don't know how that's just happened, but I've got it up now. Right, fabulous. So the potential is maybe to work with somebody else, because twos are always about people coming together. So if you've got a friend that also practices in like IRL in real life, then contact them, work with them, try and do something with them, if that makes sense. Try and do something as an ongoing project where you're relearning or learning together. But this feels very much, Reese, that you need to tread a different path. Okay, because the Fool is all about starting at zero. Now, if you've been trying to do something in one particular field, I don't know what your area of expertise is, but say obviously with me and Neil, I'm more into the folk stuff, Neil's more into the chaos stuff. So if this was coming up for me in this sort of spread, then it might be, right, I need to go and look at chaos, or maybe I need to finally look at astrology, or finally look at runes. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a whole new path out there. The Fool coming in at zero is saying there's a whole new path that you need to maybe look at, because this is coming up in the path position. Either way, potentially, I think you need to look into working with others, working in a group, or taking advice from others that work in the same sort of field as you, whatever that is, so that your manifestations are kind of, you've got someone to bounce those ideas from, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is what I would say, my darling, and I hope that helps in some way. I really, really, really do. Hang on, let me have a look. Hang on, I can't read it for a second. Let me change back to the cameras. There we go. You feel like you have a really good, I'll read it on the screen, a really good sense of balance with good investment and groundwork. You feel patient and open-minded, so you're really confused by what you're missing, but I will try looking backwards. It could be something, I'm going to pull you an oracle card. It could be something as simple as, like, it depends what you're manifesting as well, right? It depends what you're manifesting, because if you're manifesting being the supreme ruler of the universe, then, well, unless your name's Davros, it ain't gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? If you're trying to manifest power and, you know, external XYZ, you might not have enough oomph to tip the universe in your favor. However, if you are trying to manifest something in yourself, like more confidence, or more kindness, more control over, I don't know, bad habits, or anything like that, if you're trying to do that in yourself, then that's again possibly what this is looking at. However, if you're trying to manifest things from elsewhere, then that's when it's likely to be a lot more complicated. But again, it depends on what your path is. Oh, hang on. You've been practicing Egyptian for 2 years. I do not know anything about the Egyptian pantheons. So I may need to try mixing in something new. Yeah, I used to follow deities. I used to do things with largely the Greek version of Roman gods, if that makes sense. And yeah, I used to look at all of that. And then it just got to the point where I was like, just cut out the middleman. You know what I mean? So let's have a look at what your crow card is saying. But yeah, looking at other pantheons, looking at other things are really useful. So the crow card, we've got gifts. So trust in your own gifts, look at your own gifts. And again, that zero card, that Fool card coming up in your path, absolutely. If there are gifts that you are able to use and you're able to manifest using the gifts, then do that. But it might be that it's a whole different path from what you've learned on. I used to follow a Gardnerian path. I've done Alexandrian rituals and things in the past. And yeah, sometimes you just need to completely throw it all away and start over, which I've done in the last 5 or 6 years and had much more results in the last 5 or 6 years. So yeah, hopefully, my friend, that makes some sense, and hopefully that helps. Right then, I've just seen we've got a request in from Amy Smith. Not a request, a super chat from Amy Smith. Amy, you say, when will I get some relief from the grief of my mum's passing? First of all, my darling, I am incredibly sorry for your loss. My mum passed 7.5 years ago, 8 years in April. And through having this new computer and moving files over, I've just found a whole load of files of my mum, including a really wonderful video of her walking and another one of her singing along to Elvis Presley and all of this stuff, which was emotional, but also I'm very pleased that I have. So yeah, for me, it took a good few years for that grief to start passing. It really did. But let's have a look at what the cards will say for you, my darling. I'm going to do you a we're going to do you a 6-card inverted triangle reading. There we go. And we're going to pay some special attention to the top 3. So for the top 3, we want to have we're going to use right, we'll do strengths, weaknesses, and advice. Okay. And then that will also look at past, present. Does that work? Does that work, Wispy? What do we think? What do we think, Wispy? I think that can work. What you have, what you want, how to get it. No, that's not going to work either. Right. So yeah, we'll do the strengths, weaknesses, and what the advice would be. Like we'll have a look at that, because yeah, no, that feels right. That feels right, Wispy. Okay, so then let's look at the path. So there we go. And we'll look at the patterns, and I'll pull you a crow as well. Here we go. Come on, drop. There we go. So then let's have a look. So your strengths. Oh, the Fool. Now you see me shuffle that. That got shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. So for that to come up two in a row is quite telling. So yeah, again, the Fool. Starting afresh, starting over, your strength. This coming up as a strength card is really good, because it's saying that although your mum has passed, you are able to close a chapter there somehow and move on in a new way. And it doesn't mean that you ever forget your mum, because, you know, that's probably not ever going to be possible until we're in our 90s and 100s, and then we forget our own name as much as anything else. But it's talking about moving forward in a different way. So that's interesting coming up in your strength. In your weakness, of course it is. It's the 10 of Cups. Grief. I mean, look, right? I haven't messed with these cards. You've seen. I always say the 10 is when it overflows, right? Cups is emotion. The 10 is when it overflows. This is that emotion overflowing, right? Grief is overwhelming you right now, my darling. That's coming up as a weakness. So of course it's going to be something. Sorry, I just didn't realize I had a rainbow Batman sticker on the thing. But anyway, of course that's going to be overwhelming right now, because it's what you're going through. And then the advice, the Empress. Okay, the Empress. Be more loving, be good to yourself, be nurturing, nurture yourself, lots of self-love, just looking after yourself. Don't give everything you've got to other people before you look after yourself. Right, let me go through, and I'm going to do the other cards. So then, Wispy, what have we got that links the Fool to the grief? So the strength and the weakness, what is linking that? Of course it is. It's the 10 of Swords. I mean, why would we have anything else? So 10, again, is that when something is overflowing. At the moment, it's the emotions that are overflowing. But also, I don't know whether you've organized things like the funeral or organized anything else, but this is absolutely, the challenge is overwhelming right now, my darling. It absolutely is. I know this feeling extremely well. The 10 of Swords is a very, like, literally, I don't know whether you can tell, but my breathing's starting to get a little more shallow, because I'm starting to feel the emotions myself that I went through when my mum passed. It's a lot. It's a lot, right? And if it wasn't a lot, then she wouldn't have meant much to you when you were here, if that makes sense. So then, Wispy, how do we get from the 10 of Cups to the Empress? What links it? The 4 of Swords. Okay. Allowing things to pass, allowing things to go, not holding on to that grief. So that is what the 4 of Swords is talking about. So 4s are about stability. When it's reversed, it's about things being stagnant, things feeling stuck. At the moment, it feels like you're stuck in that grief. let's have a look at the core, at the root, the Ace of Wands. Right. Okay. So let me ask you some questions, Amy, that you're probably not going to like, and I apologize profusely for. Hang on. I don't want it to be that far down. There we go. But who are you now that your mum has passed? Right? Who are you now your mum has passed? The reason I'm asking that question is because it feels like your mum passing is giving you a new, not a, how can I put it? Hang on. Not that it's a new opportunity, but it's giving you a chance to move forward separately, if that makes sense. It's giving you a chance. Anne says it. Thank you very much. I've got your message. I will do your reading next. It gives you a chance, Amy, to actually almost reinvent yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got the Fool coming up now. The Fool is all about new journeys, new adventures, and this is in the Strength position. So it's really talking about this is the light that's coming out of this darkness, right? This is that silver lining on the cloud. It's going to allow you to move forward in a whole different way. Okay, at the moment it's too much, because at the moment you're still going through this deep emotion. So this is the grief, right? Now, the one thing I'll say is that in this reading, the way this pattern forms, we can take this out of the equation long term, because we've got the core, right? We've got the root, we've got where you're heading from your strength, and where you're heading with the future advice and what you need to be looking at longer term. We take that weakness out, because that won't last, right? It feels like it will. It feels like it's a forever thing, but that won't last. So we go from this ability to start over. However, there are really mixed feelings, conflicts. It feels like, I don't know whether you're going to end up with a bit of an inheritance, or whether there's, you know, just finding life on your own is going to be like incredibly difficult. It feels like there are mixed emotions here, in terms of being somehow freed up, but also feeling that intense grief. So it's kind of like a whole mix of things going on. But then we get to the Ace of Wands, and Wands is all about your self-confidence and how you see yourself. And the Ace is that new start, which the Fool card talks about. So there's definitely something here that is saying that there is a new start needed. There is a do-over needed, without that presence of your mum. Now, whether that's something that, you know, look, you're never not going to want to ring her, right? You're never not going to want to, something happens and you want to ring her up and say, oh, Merry Christmas, or, you know, I saw this thing in town and it made me laugh and I thought you'd like it. Or you never guess who I saw in the shops. Oh yeah, it was, do you remember so-and-so from down the road? Wow, you never guess what? She's got married and she only left her husband, didn't she? Oh my God, let me tell you. You're always going to want to do that, right? That's always going to happen. Learning how to live in the world without your mum is really going to be tough. But it also, we go back up this road, right? It's also going to blow away some of that, not stagnancy, but some of those issues that maybe were unspoken between you and your mum. They've now gone. They've now just let them all go. Whatever that was, whatever that looks like for you, everybody's got things that they, you know, don't necessarily agree with their parents, or that they aren't necessarily 100% on board with, or their parents weren't on board with. That's all gone now. So you can let all of that go. Whatever the hang-ups were, whatever any negativity you have between you, that's just gone now. Let it just filter away, blow away in the wind. And then we've got the advice, and the Empress is all about that motherly figure. So I don't know whether that means that you become the matriarch of the family now, or whether you are able to step up and be, you know, that family element, that nurturing element for your family and for what you need to do. Quite often you'll find that when a parent passes, one of the children, or if there are children, well, there will be because it's parent, but you know what I mean, one of those kids, or one of those adult children of the parent that passes, will then step up and take on some traditions, or take on some element of, you know, if it's a positive role model, they'll take on some of that. I do think there's nothing here about a time scale, right? At the moment, this is too raw. Right? you've got the 10 here and you've got the 10 here. Both of these are echoes of just how tough it is going to be for you to move forward and for you to deal with the passing of your mum, right? And I don't think there's any way to fast forward that. You're just going to have to feel it. I do recommend counseling 100%. 100%. I recommend seeing a counselor. If there's charity groups where you are, if there's a pastor in a church, if there's, you know, your best friend, even, talk it out, talk about how it feels, particularly if your best friend's also lost, or if a close friend has also lost their mum, because there's certain things that you only really understand if you've gone through it. But absolutely, if you can get counseling in your area, grief support counseling, I would totally recommend it. It was invaluable to me. It really, really, really was. Right, let's pull you a crow oracle. So let's see, Wispy, what we want to know is if there will be, what sort of time scale, I guess. I don't know whether we can do time scale with these, but we're looking at, no, I tell you what, Wispy, sorry, my friend, how will Amy start to feel some relief from the grief? How will Amy start to feel some relief from the grief? Let's have a look at that. How will it start to manifest that there's some relief here? Let's have a look. Okay, that's your drop. So what have we got? We've got routine. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. If you've been grieving and you've let routine slide, so if you've been unable to kind of get back into work or get back into normality, then find that sense of routine. If you're currently doing something, if you're currently doing something that your mum used to do, then why would it be your mum's routine? You're not going to do your mum's job, are you? I don't know if there's still children around. But it feels very much like, hang on, it feels very much like there's a, there we go. It feels very much like there's doing some of your mum's routine. I don't know what that means. Whatever your mum's routine means for you, my darling, I don't know whether that means like helping out at the church fair, or, you know, doing the weekly car boot sale or junk sale, doing something. I've got absolutely no idea what that is relating to, but either you need to put yourself, thank you, Wispy, yes, either you need to either put yourself into a new routine, or did you get into a routine for looking after your mum maybe, and now you need to find a new routine? I don't know, but that is what it's saying. The relief of the grief is through finding a routine that works for you. So let me have a look in the live comments. Hang on. Oh yes, thank you, Nightbot. Patricia, the grief journey is different for everyone. Yep. Be kind to yourself and try not to rush anything. Absolutely. Now you're the caretaker of your father. Oh, my darling, I'm so sorry. That must be really difficult. Take every day as it comes. Some days will be full of tears, anger, and frustration, but some days will be gentler, and allow some smiles in to see. Did your mum look after your dad? Is that where that routine's coming in? Your mum's routine? I don't think I think there's something else about that routine card. There is absolutely something else, Amy. I don't think there's any way to fast track it. I think you just need to feel the emotions. Remember your mum, talk to your mum as if she's like literally next to you. My mum is still, her ashes are still on top of the Viv in the lounge. And at Christmas time, we had the cards all around her. And I was like, you know, like, Mum, happy Christmas, Mum. So, you know, we talk about her a lot. We include her in Christmas. A friend of mine lost her mum a few months ago, and she was really struggling this year. And we said to her, well, look, set a place for your mum if you need to. Set a place for your mum. Set a place for, you know, buy if your mum always used to like, I don't know, mince pies and you hate them, buy some mince pies. You know what I mean? Buy some mince pies. Go and feed them to the birds if you don't like them. Do something that keeps that bit of the tradition going, because it helps. It really does. You say not much. He went downhill after she passed. That's also really common. But try and get yourself into that routine. Try and, for some reason, there's something that your mum did that she was the only one in the family that did, right? I don't know what this is. It's giving me like, I really want to say like Church Fate, where she always ran like the orangeade stall or something, or a lemonade stall. Or, you know, she would run the coffee shop at a local, I don't know, a local group, whatever it is. There's something there that your mum did on a regular basis that you might be able to do and help. Because it's that routine card literally gave me, oh, your mum's routine. But yeah, hopefully, Amy, that helps. There's nothing here on timescale. I think you are just going to have to take each day as it comes, my darling, as much as that is a fucking awful thing to say. Take every day as it comes. Take every day for its own thing, and just allow yourself to feel it. And just remember, if your mum didn't mean a lot to you, you wouldn't be feeling this way. Okay, so remember her, remember all the good times, remember all the funny things, remember, you know, I will tell you from my mum, I giggle every now and then because I remember she rang me once. She went on holiday on her own. Her and my dad had separated. She went on holiday and she gave me a phone call and she says, I think she was in Scotland. But anyway, she says, oh, blah, blah, blah. How are you? I said, oh, what are you doing ringing me from hospital? She says, oh, well, I just wanted to tell you, there's this really handsome waiter here. He's really fit. And I think he's, you know, I think he might be interested or something. And I was like, what are you talking about? Interested in you? And she was like, no, you. I showed the waiter your photo. And I was like, what? And she was trying to matchmake me with some bloody waiter in Scotland. And I was like, well, how's that going to work? And she was like, well, I don't know. And I literally was saying, are you drunk? Like, what are you talking about? And she's going, oh, he's got such a nice bum in his trousers, in his work trousers, in his uniform. He's got a lovely bum. And I was like, Mum, are you trying to set this guy up for me or yourself? And so things like that, I don't remember it very often, but occasionally those memories come through and I go, oh yeah, I remember that. Do lots of that. Do lots of reminiscing. Talk about silly things with your dad as well. Like, do you remember that time Mum did this with the cat? Or do you remember that time, you know, Mum thought she was buying this and ended up buying that, or anything at all like that? Reminisce and keep those stories alive, because trust me, you will be very grateful that those stories are still around in a few months or a few years' time. But I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. And as I say, lots of us on here have been through it, and I guarantee you, we all feel for you, my darling. And yeah, just take time for you, self-care, self-love, all of that. And I wish you nothing but the very best. Thank you very much for your donation. Right, I think now I need to press a thing, so I'm going to do a thing very, very quickly, and then Anne Says It will come on to you after this, my darling.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necro Neil. Blue Chalice is a small business making crafty creations for the Witcher community. From jewellery to wall hangings, witch bells to altar tiles. Why not have a look at bluechalice.etsy.com.
Right then. Oh, no. What am I doing? Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. I'm trying to press this one. Right. Mr. What? It's Nasser, not Mr. N. Okay, my darling. Okay. Hello, my darling, as well. Hi, Lisa. Hi, and I hope you are very, very well. Right. I just realised the cards were still on my desk. I didn't even shuffle the cards then. This bloody microphone, as I'm looking down, all I can see is the microphone. It's like it's right there. Literally, from your perspective, it'll be like if the mic was there. And I'm going, oh, look, can you see this? Can you see that? No, you can't, because the bloody microphone's in the way. I know, right? I know each year we slowly, year by year, we upgrade something here. Eventually they'll upgrade the tarot reader and it'll be someone else here. You know what I mean? How that'd be fun, wouldn't it? A tarot reader that doesn't waffle as much. I know, right? That's what you're all saying. I know you're all thinking it. And hopefully you'll get it this year. Hopefully soon you'll get a tarot reader that doesn't drop the bloody cards, because I'm looking for some medical things to try and help and some testing this year, because my hands are rubbish at the moment. Right then, so Wispy, let's do the bell. Wispy, and says, "Oh, would like to know, will there be more kindred spirit moments with NASA? Will there be more kindred spirit moments with NASA? Is it NASA? Because NASA is the thing that launches the spaceships, isn't it? You don't want kindred spirits with NASA, because you'll end up on a mission to Mars or something ridiculous. You know, that's not good. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Are there going to be more kindred spirit moments? Oh, I'm not even on the right camera. Are there more kindred spirit moments with NASA? Let's have a look. There is your drop. Let's have a look, my darling. So we're going to do the we'll do the 6 card again, but this time we will go with what you want, what your partner wants, and what the relationship's future is. Oh, good evening, Blood Rose Horror Nightmare. Good evening, my darling. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you doing? I don't know whether you want me to say your name on here. I don't know whether you want me to say your name. So 7 of Swords for what you want. Page of Swords for what your partner wants. That's interesting. And the 4 of Cups for the relationship's future. Right, my darling. Right, my darling. These are not great cards in terms of longevity of relationships. These are not great in terms of that. But let's have a look. So then, I'll tell you what, we'll break it down. What? Why have I got that coming up? There we go. We'll break it down this way. We'll break it down this way. So we've got, oh, excuse me, 1 second. Hopefully that muted then, because I just burped really, really badly. Apologies. So we've got the 7 of Swords in what you want. Okay, so swords generally is trouble and strife, but it's also challenges. Now, it may well be that you're somebody that quite likes a challenge, but the 7 of Swords is about taking things. So this is saying that at the end of the day, what you want feels very much like it's taking something. Hang on, this bloody screen keeps popping up. It's almost like, I don't know whether is NASA. I don't know whether he's maybe. I don't know whether he's maybe married, or maybe there's some. I do definitely feel that there is something going on here around what you want is to take it and run. I don't know what that means, but that is what I'm getting given. Wispy, what do we mean by take it and run? So the 7 of Swords traditionally has somebody taking 5 swords, dropping a couple because they're taking on more than they can handle. They're like a thief in the night. So the magpie is really, really apt for that. So what you want, at the core of what you want, it almost feels like you want the relationship your way, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. What NASA wants, we've got the Page of Swords. So a bit of learning, a bit of an experience, but also this is quite a young card. So I don't know whether you are younger than NASA, Anne, and it's literally like talking about they want a younger model type thing, or whether this is looking at they want somebody more innocent in a way, more pliable. I don't know whether that makes sense. You know what I mean? There's definitely something here around that. And then the relationship's future, I question. We've got the 4 of Cups, but it's stagnant because it's reversed. I don't think there is I don't think there is much of a future. I think you're I think whatever's happened has kind of happened, and I don't think it's going to be continuing. But let's see. This is really interesting between what you and what NASA wants, because it's both swords. So it's something challenging. I think you want like almost like the thrill of the chase rather than getting the getting the prey. You know what I mean? It's that thrill of the chase that you're after. Let's have a look though. The Knight of Swords is linking it. Forbidden fruit, maybe there is forbidden fruit here, because the knights are the ones that go after things and not thinking about the repercussions of their actions. So somewhere for one of you, this is forbidden fruit. The idea of a dalliance, whether or not that is a physical or an emotional or a romantic, it's forbidden fruit. Absolutely. And then linking the Page of Swords. So what NASA wants with the relationship's future, we've got the Five of Pentacles reverse. So the things are the marker points aren't going to be met. Does that make sense? So it's like you're not going to be moving forward in terms of anything romantical, because my brain's just done a brain fart thing and I've completely forgotten what these are called. Cairns. Thank you very much, brain. The cairns are milestone markers, right? The 5 is talking about upheaval and difficult choices. And so we've got this element going from the Page of Swords, what he wants, and moving into the relationship status, the relationship where that's headed. And I think it's difficult decisions. I think it is like whatever happened between you already, this kindred spirit moment, I think that may well be it. I think you are kindred spirits, and I think that's it. I think there's a thing that was right, that was happy, that was the moment, and I think the moment's passed. Let's just see what your root is saying. Oh, another 7, the 7 of Wands. Confident, right? Okay, so I get it, right? Basically, what this is saying, my darling, and I think that the idea of having more kindred spirit moments with NASA was really good. Like, you enjoyed it. It was a nice moment. You felt wanted, or you felt connected. And without that now, it feels like you're losing it. It feels like that energy, that connection energy, is, how can I say, it feels like that connection energy has dissipated, right? So you've had this moment, this kindred spirit moment, where you've chatted and you've made that connection. I think you may have read slightly more into it in terms of how important the connection was, because it feels like NASA doesn't have that same connection in the same way. Now, I don't think it's in fact, I'm 100% certain it's not a romantic. There's no cup cards here at all, apart from this stagnant card. So there's no like boom chicka wow wow, there's no, you know, bed moments or anything like that. This feels very much on a platonic level, but even that, it kind of feels like, if I remember rightly, you were talking about that you work together and that NASA is in a position of authority over you in some way. I think if that is right, if my memory is right, which it probably isn't because my memory is terrible, but if that is the case, I think that once that moment happened, it kind of felt like you were on each other's level. And then once that was done, then that was it. Do you know what I mean? It's like once that moment happened, it's almost like he's then gone, actually, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have opened up. Let's put those barriers back in place. Do you know what I mean? It feels very much like he let his guard down, and now he needs to put his guard back up and kind of go back to student and teacher kind of mode, rather than it being, you know, on a same level friendship, opening up to one another. Do you get what I mean? And again, I'm not talking romantically. I'm just talking about vulnerabilities. That element of allowing someone in. I think he kind of had that moment, and then it was like, it's gone. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? If we take this one out, so we take his what he wants out, then we look at the situation. You've got a lot of sevens. I don't like it. So you've got sevens, 2 sevens, a 5, and a 4 reversed. I don't think, put it this way, right? I think that the moment of opening up, that moment of connection, I think that is possibly the only time that that's going to be happening, because I think that it's made him realize that maybe he can't do that in the workplace. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe that isn't right for him to do that. Maybe he said too much or is in fear of saying too much, and he needs to keep his guard up. Do you know what I mean? It really does feel that, which is why it's going to go to stagnancy. He could even ghost you, you know. It could even be one of those situations where, you know, you both get in the lift to go up to the 4th floor and he completely just doesn't acknowledge you at all in a really kind of callous way. Something like that, because it really does feel like he doesn't want there to be any question over the relationship moving forward. And I don't mean relationship as in shaggy shaggy bum chicka wow wow. I don't mean the whole sort of, I don't mean that. I mean it very much in that sort of colleagues kind of way. Do you know what I mean? Right, let's pull an oracle card, an Urban Crow oracle card. So then, Wispy, Anne wants to know if there's more kindred spirits. So, flaming neck. Anne wants to know if there's going to be any more moments. We think the cards are saying no, but can we just have some clarification, please? Are there going to be more contacts, more openings up between Anne and NASA? Flaming cards, my hands. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm going to need to get a machine to shuffle for me at this point. It's going again. Oh, there we go. I felt it. I felt it. I'm also extremely tired. Having the nibbling here has been wonderful. Anticipation. I don't think there is, but you really want there to be. You really want there to be. Like, whatever the spark was, Anne, whatever that spark was, there was a frisson of something that you really enjoyed, right? You really want it to happen again. You really want to have the moment where you're seeing NASA, you're seeing him in a completely different light, where you're able to have that, oh, actually, we've both, excuse me, we've both let our guards down and we're actually able to have a conversation that isn't about this month's figures and what we're going to be doing in Q2 and, you know, what the marketing plan is for Christmas 2024. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're already in that situation where you want to have more conversations. So although you keep sort of, you're keeping it on the professional level, there's something here that you kind of, I think you really sparked the conversation, sparked you. That's not how you say things, Lisa. You felt a spark in that conversation, right? You felt something. Now, whether that's an intellectual, here's somebody who feels similar to me, and actually I really want to have more in-depth conversations with this person, or whether right under the surface, all the way down here, buried very, very deep down, is this idea that actually there might be something else. I think that what's doing your head in and why this question there is on the board, why this question's being asked in the first place, is because you want there to be more contact. You want to have these really interesting conversations with him around and outside of the workplace. You want to go for coffee and put the world right. Do you know what I mean? That is absolutely what it feels like. Right, my darling, that is going to be it for today's question. Sorry, that is going to be it for your reading, I should say. I honestly think, however he's opened up to you, I don't know whether he said something he shouldn't have done, slagged off a boss that he shouldn't have done, or whatever he's done, but I absolutely think that he's gone, oh, close those doors again. So yeah, that is what I think. Anyway, my darling, I hope that helps. I really, really do. And thank you ever so much for your question and for your super chats. Right, let's have a look in the lives. Let me just change over on the camera. There we go. Oh, no. Hang on. Chance Juicy Tarot. Oh my God, 20 euros is that? I don't know what that currency is, but thank you ever so much for that. I'll get onto that in a second. Oh, that does look like euros. Thank you. That's very generous. Dear Lisa, best tarot queen. Thank you. Wish you the best new year and lots of love. Kiss, hearts, hearts. Thank you, my darling. Your question is what's coming up for you in 2024? Also, is Cyprian wanting a relationship with you? I will have a look at that for you very, very soon, my darling. And we've also got Nanette as well. Thank you, Nanette. Am I on the right track or do I need to change what I'm doing? If so, what guidance do I need to know? I will get to yours after Chan's Juicy Tarot, Nanette, because yours came in slightly like seconds after Chan's did. But thank you ever so much for that. Right then, let's have a look-see. So, yeah, and I hope that helps, my darling. I am pretty sure. Oh, sorry. Let me have a look actually in the chat. Hang on. No authority over you. No. Did I say authority? I didn't mean like boss man. But it feels very much like, I don't know whether he's been in the company longer or something. It feels like he's more established. Do you know what I mean? Or like do you know what it feels like? It feels like he's a Vulcan, right? Like he's Mr. Spock and he's let his guard down and he's secretly done a whole big giggly, laughy, emotional outburst. And you're the only person that's seen it. And now he's like, I know nothing of emotions. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. And yep, right, let's have a look. So, Chan's Juicy Tarot. Let's swap the camera back. There we go. I'm loving it that I don't have to move the camera manually anymore. Although you can see me moving around the mouse going, what am I clicking on? What do I need to click on? That one there. Right then. So, Wispy. Chan's Juicy Tarot would like to know what is coming up for them in 2024. We can only do the first month, maybe 6 weeks, so we'll have a look at that for you. Oh, this bloody keyboard. I'm going to need somewhere to put this keyboard, I'm telling you, because it keeps falling over. I wonder if you can get a... It doesn't want to sit there. I know what I need to do. I need to get Rufus with some wood or something to do me like a thing that it sits on like that. Will it rest there? Oh, it will do. Okay, there we go then. Right, don't do that, because every time I click that, I keep nudging it, and then the keys are getting hit by my elbow or something, and then things keep popping up on screen. Right then, let's have a look. So, what's coming up in 2024, and who is also what? And also, is Cyprian wanting a relationship for you? Let's have a look, my darling. Let's move that behind there. Oh gosh, at least with this whole new setup, it's a little bit more stable on screen. Also, it looks a lot clearer. It shouldn't do. It's the same camera and everything, but it does look a lot clearer. That's always handy. Right then, Wispy. What's coming up for Chan's Juicy Tarot? And is Cyprian wanting a relationship? Chans, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you do the tarot yourself? Because it'll be fascinating to know if you do, like what cards you use, what spreads you use, what decks you like, you know, what methods you use, all of that. It'll be absolutely fascinating. Right, so we'll do the standard horseshoe because that'll give us an idea. And we'll do do we want a horseshoe? For Cyprian wanting a relationship with you. Okay, that's what we'll answer. So Wispy, concentrate on Cyprian. Does Cyprian want a relationship with Chan's Juicy Tarot, and also general, you know, coming up in 2024 type vibes? Right, so here we go. The Four of Wands. Oh gosh, hang on. I'm going to have to hide. No, where is it? That one? That one. I'm going to have to hide it because otherwise I'm not going to get the cards in. Can I make it smaller on screen? Hang on. Can I do that? Can I do that? Is there any way of doing that? Nope, don't want to do that. I don't think I can. No, that's not going to do it. Nope, I can't. Right, okay, never mind. So then, I just need to remember that's the question there. So, in the past, Four of Wands. In the present, the Page of Wands reversed. Okay, Hermit reversed in the influence. We've got the Knight of Wands in the challenge or the obstruction. Justice coming up. Okay, these are linked. That's interesting, these two. Coming up in the awareness of others. We've got the the Knight of Cups as well coming up in the advice. And then we've got the Queen coming up reversed in the outcome. Okay. Okay, I see what you're doing, Wispy. I see what you're doing. Right, so in the past, Four of Wands. I think you've been stable in the past in terms of whatever's happened with you and Cyprian. I don't know whether you've had a bit of the old. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether there's been that contact, a little bit of. You know what I'm saying? A bit of the jiggy jiggy bum chicka wow going on. But it feels that in terms of your confidence, I think your confidence has been quite stable for a while. You've been kind of quite stable, quite happy, maybe a little bit stuck in a rut, but in terms of everything, you've been okay. You've been on a, you know, things haven't been great, but things haven't been shit either. You've been doing okay, ticking over quite nicely. In the present, though, I think that this question mark over Cyprian, excuse me, I think this question mark over Cyprian is really throwing you for a curveball. Because we've got the page and it's reversed. Pages are young energy, youthful energy, that sort of naivete, if you like. But the thing about the pages is that they are really innocent. They wear their heart on the sleeve. They're sort of just experiencing life for the first time. It's that sort of non-rebellious teenage energy. Do you know what I mean? It's like discovering things and learning about how the world works. Now this page you can see has got the light bulb, which is representing a fire, because they've got the stick, but this is also about ideas. So there are new ideas. So I think this idea of Cyprian, you and Cyprian, is kind of both giving you ideas with the light bulb, but also because it's reversed, I think it's actually this not knowing is really affecting your confidence. Do you know what I mean? I think it's really kind of playing on your mind a little bit. In terms of the influence, we've got the Hierophant. No, we haven't. We've got the Hermit. I think that's about the third week in a row that I've meant to say Hermit and said Hierophant. I need to maybe look at what the Hierophant means for me, don't I? Something's definitely going on here. But the Hermit, as you can see, this is quite a similar but very different version of the Hermit. Quite often they're in a cave with a lantern. This time the lantern is spiritual or ethereal. And you can see this person is just sat down on a rock. They've got their backpack. They've got various symbols and that all over them, but they're just chilling. Now, the Hermit is all about discovering life, putting yourself out of the main 9-to-5 type life and discovering things for yourself. Now, the Hermit being reversed in the influence position is, I think there are questions here that you don't want the answer to, right? I think there are, it's almost like you don't want to ask certain questions of Cyprian at the moment. You don't want to, you know, you want to avoid all of that knowledge. You don't want to, like, why are you asking me instead of going directly to Cyprian and saying, look, are we going to move in together or what? Do you know what I mean? Something here that you're trying to get the answer without getting the answer. And that's what the Hermit's saying. This is what that influence is. It's like you don't really want to address them head on. Now, in the obstruction or the challenge, we've got the Knight of Wands. So wands, again, security, is bringing back this one, and the Knight is that rebellious teenage energy. But this is coming up in the challenge, the obstruction. And again, I think this is saying that as much as you feel kind of a bit mixed emotions and a bit mixed kind of confident, but not as confident about whatever the connection you have with Cyprian is, once we get to the Knight, it's like you want to just go full steam ahead, but you don't know whether you should or not. And it's almost like that unknowing that is what's causing this difficulty, if that makes sense. That's what's causing this blockage, because it's like you kind of really want to know, but you also don't want to ask. We've got justice coming up in the awareness of others, right? And it's reversed, so it's an injustice. So this is talking about things not feeling right, things not being completely on board. Does that make sense? So it's like there's something going on here that other people see this as being a little bit unfair. So I don't know whether this is Cyprian's view or whether this is like the friends around you literally saying, well, actually, you know, you're waiting on this mysterious person to ask you for a relationship. You're waiting for them to ask, like, what's happened to the person that would just be fearless and go, oi, I kind of quite like you, but oi, why aren't we shagging? Or why aren't you living with me? Or why aren't we, do you know what I mean? It's like, what is this injustice here? What is this element of why is this person making you feel a little bit less confident? And why is that stopping you doing what you would normally do? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of where this question's coming in, Chans. In terms of advice, we've got the Knight of Cups. Listen, again, these knights are talking in a very similar way. If you need to know the answer to the question, ask the bloody question. Ask Cyprian, right? The Knight of Cups, rushing in where angels fear to tread in terms of romance. This is somebody who loves openly. They love freely. Yes, they will get their heart broken from time to time, or bent or twisted or stomped on. But at the end of the day, they still are putting themselves out there. They are still doing it. They are still allowing themselves to feel and opening up, even if it's a little bit dangerous, right? If that makes sense. Even if it's one of these things where they're like, I love and I want to love openly, even if it's a bit scary for them. Because the knights tread where the knights walk where angels fear to tread, right? So you've got that element of the knights are always going to be out there doing their own thing. If they love freely and hugely. And that's what this is saying in your advice line. It's really talking about, you need to really find out where Cyprian is, right? You just need to ask. You need to do that. The outcome is we've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So I don't know whether this is talking about your finances, your work, but it feels like this nurturing energy that we get from the Queen. If this is all about Cyprian, then it feels like you're going to have your work cut out for you in terms of relationship wise, in terms of getting into a relationship with them. It could also be, because it's a reversal on a Pentacles, it could also be that, I don't want to say Cyprian's after your money, but it could also be that there is something here about an ulterior motive somewhere along the lines. It's a bit difficult to see with just one card, but I think it's more, if you're looking at this from the relationship with Cyprian element, are you going to get with Cyprian? Does Cyprian want a relationship with you? Then that would be the only question, is what Cyprian's intentions may be. So yeah, just keep that in mind, my darling. Keep that in mind. I do think that you need to just be brave and get things out in the open with them. Really, really honestly, get things out in the open, have that discussion. This hermit of not wanting to hear the answers to the question, and this idea of this injustice that for some reason Cyprian is bringing you down a little bit in your confidence. I absolutely think you just need to go for it. This is saying ask the questions, and this is saying the challenge is not asking the questions. I think you just need to voice it. I really, really do, my darling. I really, really do. Right, let's pull you a crow card. Not a croquet, a crow card. Let's have a little look-see. I love this deck, but I love anything with crows. Just look at my background. You know what I mean? I don't mean like where I grew up and where I went to school. I mean like the backdrop of the channel, of the videos. Right, here we go. Oh, a low drop. Let's have a look then. So then, Wispy, what was the question? Hang on, I'm not on that screen at all. The question was, is Cyprian wanting a relationship? What happens with Cyprian? Distraction. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. This is a distraction. You've been distracted. Hang on. Right. Wispy, we're going to clarify it with a second card. Why is grief coming up? Why is distraction and grief coming up? Is this for where it's headed? Because we've got this Queen of Pence coming up as a reversal. So the distraction card is all about, like, look over there. It's like, look over there, everybody. Look here, look here. Oh, I've got this card. It magically appeared. Do you know what I mean? It's like sleight of hand type thing. So that's what the distraction card is. It's like literally this crow is cawing. The cat's looking in, or the dog, or whatever it is it's a dog, is looking at the crow and going, oh, hello, what are you doing? What's all this noise? Well, the other one sneaks in, right? So there's a certain element of that here. So has Cyprian got some ulterior motives? Question mark. Because then we've got grief coming up as a clarifier as well. Now, grief is really interesting when it comes to the crows, because they do grieve. They know relationships. When a pair of crows mate, they mate for life. So there's something here about maybe Cyprian has an ulterior motive. That's not come up in these. It's come up in these. Now, that's interesting. Maybe Cyprian has some sort of ulterior motive in mind. I would say you need to ask these questions. You absolutely need to ask these questions face to face to find out what is going on with Cyprian, because I think that's the only way you're going to get your answer. And it might also, this distraction and this this grief card might also explain this reverse justice in the awareness of others, because this is an injustice. So yeah, maybe there is something that you need to find out. But I would say ask these two questions, Chance. And I hope, my darling, I hope that helps. Thank you ever so much for your question. Thank you for your donation and for your kind words. But that is going to be your reading for today, my darling. So yes, thank you ever so much. Right then, we've got, oh gosh, we've got 8 minutes left. We're going to go over, mods. I'm going to do Nanette's reading. Let me just click over on the doodah. Oh no. Jeez. Here we go. And let's hide current comment. You haven't lost anybody. No, I don't mean grief. It's not grief for you. It's grief as in, like, mourning a relationship that could be. Do you know what I mean? Mourning what might have been, mourning what never was, mourning the, you know, it's not has been, it's a never was. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of vibe, my darling. You don't have money, he has more than you. That distraction, it could literally be anything. There's the distraction card is so, there is some sort of sleight of hand going on. I think you absolutely need to ask him those questions that the two knights are saying about, like, what is it that you want? What is happening between us? Ask the questions and get the answers from the horse's mouth. Absolutely. And I know you're not going to want to do that because it's coming up in that obstacle position, but absolutely, I think you need to know that Knight of Swords. It's like, it's going to cause you more sleepless nights and not knowing and not finding out what Cyprian is actually after. And that may well be that he's after a relationship, but it might be that he wants a different type of relationship to what you want. But I honestly think that you're going to have to just bite that bullet and ask that question, my darling. I don't think there's any way around it. I don't think at this point there's nothing in the cards saying that Cyprian is going to suddenly, you know, tomorrow turn up with hearts and flowers and, you know, chocolates and declare undying love for you. But equally, I don't think tomorrow he's going to bugger off and never speak to you again. Do you know what I mean? There's something else happening under the surface for them. And I think that's something you're going to need to ask him and find out about, because there is definitely something in the background that you're currently not aware of. That distraction card and that grief card, that's a little bit of a warning right there. And that Queen of Pentacles at the end, it's a little bit of a warning. Just bear that in mind, my darling. But I think the only way you're going to get specifically is to find out, is to have that conversation, because the Hermit, the Injustice, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups for the advice, all of those cards are pointing at, you need to seek this information out. You absolutely need to seek this information out. And I hope that helps, my darling. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ed. I'm doing it now. I've just seen that pop up. I hadn't seen that before, my darling. I will next time I'm on, which will be Sunday. If you want to come in and ask a question, I'll try and answer you a financial question for you. Right, my darling. So we've got Nanette as the last person who's asked a question tonight. Oh gosh, I'm a bit dizzy then. Am I on the right track, or do I need to change what I'm doing? And if so, what guidance do I need to know? So then we're going to go slightly over time, but thank you, mods. If you need to head off, thank you ever so much for everything you've done. You're all a bunch of amazing people. I love you all very, very, very dearly. Yeah. Feel free to head off if you need to. We can wrap this up now. There's no more questions coming in, so I can wrap this up. Right then, Nanette, am I on the right track, or do I need to change what I'm doing? Let's have a look. So then, oh gosh, I need to change how I shuffle. So then, oh no, there we go. Wispy, the Blood Rose Horror Nightmare would like to know, am I on the right track, or do I need to change what I'm doing? And if so, what guidance do I need to know? Hands are not great. It is Nanette, isn't it? I haven't got that. I haven't got that completely screwed over. It is Nanette, isn't it? I have got that right, yeah? I think I have. Doubting myself now. I know, right? Not for the first time. Right then, Wispy, we're going to do the drop. There we go. And let's have a look. So we're going to we'll do the 6 card inverted. And we'll do it with the where you are, what you need, and what the opportunity is. That's a good spread for the 6 card. So where you are, oh, Knight of Cups, what you need to know. Page of Pentacles, okay. And Ace of Swords in the opportunity. Interesting. So let me just hang on a second. It is Nanette. Yes, I thought it was. For a split second, I was like, no, it's not. No, you're getting yourself confused. It's been a very long week. Having the nibbling here has been lovely, but I'm very peopled out right now. So my spoons are at an all-time low. Although I must admit, I did find 2 spoons in this room where I brought my coffee in, and then I've stirred them and I've left them here. So yeah, don't tell Rufus. I know, right? I felt like a teenager with all the spoons and cutlery and plates under the bed. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I haven't got any spoons. Oh, shit. Yes, I have. Oopsie. Anyway, right. So where you are now, 8 of Cups. Whatever you're doing, Nanette, is emotional, right? You are looking for how you get to the 9 of Cups. So there is a journey going on. Now, whatever it is that's happening in your life, I think you know that there are some difficulties, right? Because the roof is leaking. The roof is leaking. The roof is bloody leaking. It is on fire. Yeah. But it's not raining outside. So this is internal. There's an internal problem, right? That you are aware of and you're trying to mop up. Now, for me, this is very deep metaphors, but it's about your own emotional state, my darling. And it's like you want to move forward. The door is open. The path is in front of you. But you're still trying to rescue the house. You're still trying to rescue your emotional state where you are now. Okay. And literally, this is talking about you have to be able to move on at some point. And this is all about how you do that journey. So whatever this right track is, whatever it is that you're doing now, like the door is open, it is maybe time to start making those steps towards the next card. Now, in the what you need to know, we've got the Page of Pentacles. So pages are all about youthfulness, learning, discovering new things about yourself, discovering new things about the world around you. We've got this lovely rainbow. So it is talking about maybe this is a happy path. This is a happy, joyous way to move forward. Discovering, bits about your longer term future, especially if there's money related, career wise. If this is what you're looking at, starting in a new career, starting a new project that's going to be funded or somehow that you're going to get paid for, then absolutely go with it. Okay, if that is what you're looking at doing, if this thing that's on the right track, if it could lead to a long-term career, then go for it, because it's showing you this happy rainbow image here in the background. And then the opportunity card, we've got the Ace of Swords. Now, this is interesting because, you know, I normally refer to swords as the trouble and strife. This is all about challenges and obstacles. But a challenge can also create lots of ideas. How you overcome that challenge can be more important than if you had plain sailing, because you don't learn something unless you overcome those challenges. So when we're kids, we try and stand up, we fall flat on our face, or we fall on our knees. The reason we do that is because we still want to walk, we still want to stand, we just haven't worked out how. And through trial and error, we eventually learn to stand, and then we learn to walk, and then we learn to run, and all the rest of it. I never learned to run. No, I was away that day when we did running. Sorry. I know, right? Childhood development from the ages of 6 months to 10 months. Your child, nope, not running. Sorry, no, not even if there's an ice cream van. I don't think so. Like, here comes Michael Myers with a knife, or Jason Voorhees with a knife or a machete. Okay, I ain't running for nothing. So, you know, I'll put up a fight where I can. You know what I mean? But this Ace of Swords is about that challenge, bringing ideas and bringing new ventures into play. The feathers here are representing the air element, which is what the swords is. This wispy smoke is all about the air element. So there's lots of stuff coming in that is going to be positive. Okay, the opportunity is going to be positive. Overcoming these challenges is going to get you further down the line than if it was just plain sailing. The connective tissue between the cards, we've got between the 8 and the Pentacles, we've got the Ace of Cups. So follow your emotions. Start whatever this is. If it's something that you're emotionally tied to, then absolutely go for it. Emotionally go for it, my darling, because this is really saying start this new venture, start that project. If you're start that new love affair, if it's something that you are interested in and it brings you joy, then go for it, because it will link this moving forward to the 9 and this wonderful Page of Pence, where it's got this happy vibes going on. This is really important card. This is really cool. I don't know what this ace is, don't know what it means for you, but oh my god, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Really, really positive card. And then we've got the Queen of Pentacles coming in as well. So financially it could be positive. So these are really linked. Starting this project as the Page of Pentacles, starting in the learning phase and moving forward through the challenges, could actually be financially or career-wise quite beneficial to you. So that's really positive as well, Nanette. That is a really, really good sign. So whatever this is, go for it, my darling. And then we've got the 10 of Swords coming in as the root. Now this is fear of the 10 happening, right? So I think your own fears are stopping you moving forward. Your own fears of everything's going to turn to shit are actually stopping you enjoying what's happening, because it might not turn to shit. But whilst your fears are stopping you, it's like you're unable to move forward because you're so scared of things turning to crap that you're not moving forward and doing it anyway. So that is absolutely blocking you. That is absolutely blocking you from moving forward. If we take the what you need to know out of the equation and we just go from where you are to your opportunity, where you are is the 8. Do you want to move forward to the 9 emotionally, following that path? So how do you do that? You start a new path emotionally. And yes, that is going to be scary, but you don't have to be worried. That you're going to feel the fear, but the thing is, you need to feel the fear and do it anyway, right? Because this is reversed. This isn't an actual worry. And then you move up. So we get the Queen of Pentacles, that nurturing, loving, financial, career-wise energy is coming in. That is also really, really positive. And that leads you to another new venture, which might be scary, but it might be down to ideas and adventures and things that are really cool and things that you really want to progress with. That's also a really, really positive element coming in the opportunity position. So I think whatever it is that you're doing, you absolutely are on the right track. What guidance? Don't let your fears stop you. Do not let your fears stop you, Nanette. Do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Learn every single thing you can. It's like with YouTube. I'm slowly trying to upgrade this and upgrade that, niche down and focus on what people are actually watching. People don't watch a lot of my longer term videos that aren't the live stream, so I'm not doing as many of those. I still really enjoy them, so I'm going to do it on a monthly basis. People really like the podcast. They listen to them and watch quite a lot of them. Therefore, That's something we're going to continue. Both me and Neil really like to make them, but random ad hoc videos are probably going to take a massive step backwards on the channel for a while, because it's a lot of effort for not a lot of point. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I'm hugely passionate about. If there is something I'm passionate about, I will make a video because I enjoy it. But do you know what I mean? Right then, so Wispy, we've got one last thing to do, and that is to give Nanette a Urban Crow Oracle card. Is she on the right track? Is she on the right track, or what guidance can we give her? So we either want a positive affirmation or a negative affirmation. An affirmation if she's on the right track, and if not, what guidance can you offer her? Let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, distance. Okay. So what do we mean by, oh God, what do we mean by distance? We mean give things time, allow things to settle, allow things to work out in their own time and space. Look, you don't have to be crowded around with people right now. Okay, you can see, look at this village here. It's so busy, so loud, so annoying that the crows are out here in this farmyard. Now, what that's literally saying is, look, focus on where you want to head with whatever this project is. Focus on it, work with it, but also allow yourself some distance from it. Don't burn the candle at both ends. Don't get burnout. Don't, you know, kill yourself trying to make something happen. Try and let yourself kind of try and find that balance between getting all excited for a project and throwing yourself into it, and also, you know, looking after yourself. There is a balance to find between the two, and find that distance, find that area where you can go to get some headspace, find that bit where you can go to, you know, put the project down. Nowadays, once I've done on my live streams, I'll send the mods a couple of messages on WhatsApp. If I do that, 9 times out of 10 I forget, because I go to the loo, I go and do dinner, and then by the time that's done, I'm then ready for bed. So there's this bit of what I don't do now, which is what I used to do, would look at the analytics, go into the video, go into the YouTube studio, do this, do that, do the other, go and watch a few videos about how to improve my YouTube experience, how to improve this, how to improve that. I now have to give it distance. I now have to step back and basically go, YouTube is a hobby that I love. I treat it as a job. So I'll do the bits that I love doing. And then after that, I go and have my real life encounters. So I'll go and cook dinner, or I'll, you know, watch a film with Rufus, or we'll go and let the dogs out, or go for a walk with the dogs, or whatever it is we do that isn't me in front of a screen. And that's me getting distance. And so I think you need to find that same distance, my darling, and work on that. Whatever your project is, make sure that you get a work-life balance. And I hope, my love, that helps. Right then, let me have a wee little look in the live chat. I'm going to swap the camera's background. I love not having to change the camera position. I absolutely love it. It's so, I'm so happy, even though I've got a second monitor that's just there that isn't currently working. I'm so happy because the camera arm is on that monitor. It's so cool. I love it so much. Right then, let's have a look. What have you said? Hang on. Plates and spoons under the bed. Huge fallouts with your daughter over that when she lived with you. You now smile knowing her daughter does the same. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. If you run from Michael and Jason, they will kill you faster. Absolutely, yes. Speaking of doing new stuff, what am I doing on the 10th? I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, let alone on the 10th. When is the 10th? Hang on, I've got a calendar in front of me. It's a Wednesday. Currently, I'm not doing out. Currently, I have nothing on the calendar. Not that I know of. Jack is trying to kiss the phone while you talk. Oh, hello, Jack. Good boy, Jack. Good boy. But yes, anyway, I hope that helped, Nanette. I hope everybody, if you've watched this far through in the stream, thank you very, very much. Thank you for joining us. And again, I will be back on Sunday evening. Yes, it is New Year's Eve. So we'll be doing a what does the year hold for me? So we'll be looking as far into the future as we can. The thing is, after the first couple of months, it all gets vague and wispy and like ethereal. So we'll do what we can. I'm not going to be doing 12-month readings because they take forever. And I don't believe in them, so I wouldn't be doing them. You know me by now, everyone. I only do the readings and I only do the things here that I personally believe and can attest to. So yes, I will let you know, Nanette. I will let you know. I haven't even been on Instagram over Christmas because Nibbling's been here, but I will double check. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to everybody who subscribed today. Thank you to everybody who asked questions. Thank you to everybody who sent a super chat. That's very, very kind of you. Don't forget, everyone who does send a super chat, we do send percentages of it go off to the 2 bladder cancer charities here in the UK. And of course, thank you ever so much to the mods, those wonderful people who keep things ticking over for me. So yes, thank you ever so much for all of you as well. And of course, thank you to my wonderful channel members. I couldn't do this without all of you. I mentioned the mods and the members. And yeah, I will see you again on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. And of course, 6 p.m. UK time for the members over on our Members Only Live. I will see you very soon. If I don't see you before the new year, have a wonderful start to 2024. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.